stuff that she needs, special ed wise, medical wise, all that. But like, I have to define it more so that it makes me cry a little bit more, because it's changed a little bit since Dallas. And so since we've gotten more diagnosis and all this stuff, but like to really define it and break it down into what's going to take to get to that why was great.
Fantastic. Good stuff. All right. Anybody else have comments on last night's class or your homework? We want to hear from you guys. Come on. Anybody?
Hey, Bill, I'll go.
Go ahead, Trevor, and then we'll go to Ted.
So I did the homework, both sections. My why really hasn't changed a whole lot in 5 years. And I'm assuming we're all involved in Legal Shield here. We wouldn't be on this. That's safe to say that's true. Hey, we're all involved in Legal Shield on some level on someone's team.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. We're listening.
Yeah. I just didn't know if I was supposed to talk about Legal Shield or not. But, you know, for me, you said last night, Bill, and I've heard Mike Melia say this. I took some training with him about 2 years ago. And I was one of those 50% that didn't last the week. And you said last night, again, 50% of you aren't. Well, I know this. I'm here again tonight, and it's a slight edge move in the right direction. Marilyn couldn't make it on tonight, but we have been working this business as a team and individually, and we're having success. It's like the roller coaster, you know, valleys and hills, and we're plugged in. Things are going great, and for me, I saw you post this on Facebook. I know what you're about. I believe everything, your philosophies. So I just wanted to jump in with both feet and let fear get out of the way. And for me, this is just, I needed this week. So thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
All right. My pleasure. So guys, I got people messaging me I think they're having trouble getting on the Zoom or something. So I'm not trying to be distracted. I'm just trying to help people get here. Ted Snyder, let's go over to you, man. Comments on last night in the homework?
Yeah. The homework to listen to Escaping the Trap, that was something that, you know, this is my second time through Better Life U, and this is my second time listening through, actually probably like the third or fourth time for different reasons, listening through Escaping the Trap. Yesterday, the thing that stood out to me, and honestly, I mean, I think it's just the thing that I'm hearing right now, which is probably evidence that it's something that I should be doing something about, is comfort is the enemy of success. And, you know, I shared a little bit last night. Bill had me share a little bit about just what we've been able to accomplish in the last year, which is awesome, but it's a double-edged sword in that there's like a new level of comfort because we're moving in the right direction. I finally feel like what we're doing for our family and stuff is what we've needed to be doing for our family. So there's a level of comfort with that. But it's become very clear that that comfort is a little bit of the enemy of where I know I want to be. Not just where I am is kind of the enemy of where I want to be a little bit, because it's kind of like, hey, I'm all excited and I'm feeling really good about where I'm at. And I need to figure out how to be a little less satisfied with that, I guess, and dream a little bit more and have a vision and have, you know, the right mindset about where I want to be, you know, not just, I guess for lack of a better term, I just need to be uncomfortable. I need to find a way to get uncomfortable with where I'm at. So,
you know, I read a book years ago where a guy talked about, he was doing well in life and he started a side business and wanted to build a residual income, and it was hard for him to drive himself to do that because he was already doing well in life, you know, making multiple six figures or whatever. And he said, you know, so what I did is I said, you know what, I'm going to sleep on the floor, like not on a mattress, not on, you know, a blanket, like literally on the floor until I hit this goal, whatever the goal was. And he said, so I found a way to make myself uncomfortable. And so, you know, maybe that's something that you guys have to think about, you know, as you're starting to build your business. And you just brought up tonight's topic. You just talked about your right mindset. And guys, I'm excited to introduce you to our teacher tonight. Some of you know her, some of you don't. But let me just tell you, this lady is somebody that I've gotten to know as a business partner. I'm proud to call her a friend. I hope she calls me a friend. But we've known each other for almost 19 years now, and we've become very close. She's taught me tremendous amounts of lessons in life and business, and she lives her life to the fullest. There's one thing I love about her is her free spirit, that she really wants to just go out and live life for everything that it has to offer. She gives like there's no tomorrow. I mean, she started an orphanage that I've been fortunate enough to be a part of with her, but she has really spearheaded that thing and spends time down there, with the girls in the orphanage there. And, she's got a background in all kinds of sports, and she's got accolades after accolades after accolades. But outside of all that, her income, over $600,000 a year passively, right, has made multiple millions of dollars in her own life. She's from Canada originally, currently living in Mexico, but just became a U.S. citizen. I'm so proud of her for that. I mean, she is a true North American, if there ever was one. And she knows, everything that needs to be known about your mindset versus your skill set. And there is a difference. There's a big difference in your mindset and your skill set. So if we would, let's welcome our trainer, our teacher for tonight. Kim, I can't thank you enough for your time and what you do for everybody. So Miss Kim Melia, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much. And of course, you're my friend. I would call it more like a family. You're like a big brother. And Michelle, your wife, is, I don't know if she's a little sister or a big sister, but we'll just call it we're equal. And then of course, Kylie, your daughter, I'll call her my little sister. But thank you so much, Bill, for just inviting me. I'm honored to be here, first of all, and talk to everybody. And for anybody who's missing it right now, guess what? The good thing is that it is recorded. And if you follow through all of the courses that Bill's put for you with Better Life You, then you can have a better life if you really, really want to. Here's the good news. My topic tonight is mindset versus skill set. And thank goodness that mindset can conquer most of what skill set can do, because as you hear my story a little bit, you'll understand that I don't really have so much of a skill set. Bill's saying all these great things about me, which is awesome. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. But the funny thing is I really don't have a lot of education background. I really don't have a lot of like, hey, she did this, she was this. I mean, I do a little bit, but the reality is that I'll just talk about my story just for a minute here before I get into the nitty gritty of mindset versus skill set. But my story is really, I grew up kind of humble, and I say this because I went from middle class to lower class. I didn't go into lower class for a long, long period of time during my, teenage years, basically. But I went there long enough to know that I never want to be like that again. And what I did realize, what it was actually, when I was in that lower class mentality, or just even lower class economics, I realized that my mindset wasn't very good then. I can see it now, but I didn't know it then. And so, but when I first grew up, when I first was born, I'm not going to go way, way, way back, but except for I'll go there for a second. My biological father was abusive. So my mom left him when I was 3. I have 2 older brothers. So we finally left him, and I call who I call my dad today. I met him when I was about 3.5, 4 years old. And I can remember that was a whole different way of looking at life right there. So your environment can make a difference for sure. But just fast forward, my parents were together for about 10 years, and then they split up. And that's when I went into a whole interesting mode, a rebellious mode for a couple years of my life. But I really did, that's when I fell into more when my mother was single again. That's when we fell into the, lower middle class, I would say lower class for a little while. And I was on food stamps and welfare for a little while. My brother made fun of me, my older brother, because he wasn't living with us. I remember him making me feel very, very low in my life. It wasn't his intention, because he was still a teenager himself, but it definitely was one of those things that you just remember that actually can make a difference. Because when we're going to talk about mindset and skill set, I'm going to tell you something. One of the things that makes a huge difference is that you don't let your past equal your future if it was bad, right? Or something was challenging about it. You let your past, the challenges, be equal, or not equal, but you make those challenges really provoke you and into a better life. So they don't become your excuses, they become your reasons. And that is a huge thing about mindset. So let's fast forward again. So mindset. So I was the first to graduate from high school. Yay, and my whole family. Woohoo. I know that sounds like, wow, really, Kim? Really? Like my father didn't graduate, my mother didn't graduate, my brother didn't graduate, my other brother didn't graduate. My mom finally got her GED. But I literally was the first one to graduate from my family, my immediate family. I didn't go into college. I took a couple night courses. I don't think that really counts. So I got a couple credits, but the reality is I really don't have a lot of those skill sets. So I had to make up in, you know, pretty much my mind, and didn't realize it then, to get a job and to do certain things, because I really didn't have a lot of skill set. So we'll talk about the difference and why you still need skills for some careers for sure. But, you know, the reality is no education really, no huge skill set. So what I had to do to get my first job and stuff like that is I really had to make myself look better than somebody who had the skills, you know, to have that job. And I really wanted to be able to get those jobs. But unfortunately, if you're like me, I didn't want to go out there and train or do something, because I really didn't know if I'd want to do that job for a long period of time. So why would I spend 2 hours or not even 2 hours, but 2 years or 4 years and getting a degree in something that I don't even know if I like? Because I already figured out I was working in corporate Canada for a little while, and I realized I hated that job. So then I got another job, and I didn't like that job, and I got another job. So I was like, well, thank goodness I didn't get a degree in something, right? That's just me. I'm not saying that education isn't good at all, because we're going to go through that, how that's important. But the reality is, once I joined a company, which was amazing, and I became an entrepreneur, and that was at the age of 23 years old. So I was working for corporate Canada, and I was working there full-time, started a part-time career being an entrepreneur, working from home. Then I realized how much I really needed to develop my mindset just to have the discipline and focus to be able to be an entrepreneur, and that I really didn't need the skill set. And I was kind of happy when I heard that, because I was like, okay, well, if you're talking about me, if you mean that I'm the one that really makes a difference whether I'm going to be successful or not, and you're going to help me and you'll guide me in the right direction, it doesn't mean I have to go to school for anything, then I'm all in. That was just how I looked at things, right? So let's just talk for a minute about the difference between mindset and skill set. And I can go back in and talk about the lifestyle that I've been able to create for myself, not to brag, but to show you what's possible when you can align yourself with an awesome company and you can have the right discipline and focus, I call mindset, to make it happen. So mindset is, here's the actual definition, at least that I found, is how you see the world and how you think about it. So things that you've seen, heard, and learned, right? Maybe from other people and stuff like that, but how you see the world, not how your dad, not how your priest, not how, you know, your doctor, your dentist, your whoever, your coach or your mentor, how you see the world. I think sometimes we get that mixed up, especially when we're growing up, because we do believe what our parents believe in or whatever, which is all good. You know, it's good that we have that, but we also need to know that we are an individual person, and we have to go out and see the world and how that reflects upon us. So how you see the world and how you think about it. So, you know, a little bit of hints here, how to have an open mindset. And we'll talk a lot about this, but is to be open to opportunities and adventures and experiences. I live in Mexico. My mom needed my help here. I'm an advocate for my mom's health right now. I never knew if I'd like Lake Chapala in Mexico. I had no idea. Flew down here to come and check out, see if my mom was doing okay. Figured she wasn't doing okay. Have a great lifestyle, because I've chosen to have a great lifestyle, because I have a better life view. And I'm able to come here to be with my mom. But it's a new adventure. It's a whole experience. It's a different mindset. If I went into it thinking, I fear this, I don't know if I'm going to like anybody, will I make any friends, can I get on a Zoom still, can I still do my business from Mexico? Fear based versus abundance, right? And to be able to experience new things. And trust me, I love it. It's awesome. I'm convinced that everybody should live in a different country at some point. Heck, pick Canada if you want. That's a pretty good one. That's where I started, right? But let's talk about now skill set. Okay, here's the actual definition of skill set. Your capabilities based on knowledge and experience. So they're both pretty much based on experience somewhat, right? For sure. Well, you have to have experience. It's not somewhat, it is. But skill set is based on knowledge and experience. So you can learn what you put your mind into. So you can really learn anything that you put your mind to. I think you guys can agree with that. Like, I don't want to be a doctor, but if I really wanted to be a doctor, I know that I could go and get educated to be a doctor, correct? So there's so many different careers that you have to have a skill set. Think of a high diver. Well, if I just have a great mind to say, oh, I'm going to go high diving and I don't have any practice or a little practice, do you guys think I'm going to be an amazing high diver? Do you think I'm probably going to hurt myself? Yeah. So we do need skill set. I'm not going to trash skill set. It's important, but it's not everything that we think it is. Okay, let's just talk about a couple different things. And accounting, you guys can actually put in the chat there if you want to like name a couple of other careers that you have to have a skill set. Let's talk about an Olympic athlete or a baseball, athlete or whoever. Of course, they need to have some skill set. They've got to practice. Michael Jordan's got to practice. Madonna's got to practice. Certain things like that. Lawyers, teachers, we've got to go to school to learn what to teach other people. Doctors. How about a tightrope? A tightroper? I don't even know what they're called. Whatever they're called. But like, okay, I've got to practice. I've got to have some sort of skill set. But listen, it doesn't matter. All of these. Let me see some of your chats. Let me open it up and look. Yeah, and insurance, you have to learn about insurance. Doctor, you got to learn about doctors. Absolutely, those are great ones. If you have people who climb mountains, how about those guys that climb, and girls, that don't even have a rope, or they have this little thing. I was watching some crazy thing. I like to watch stuff like that, not because I want to do it, but because I'm intrigued by people's minds. Like what turns them on? What's their passion? What's their purpose? Why? And how they can absolutely do it, right? Their mindset. How many people agree, and you can put your hand up, a musician. How many people agree, and you can put your little hand up on the chat, agree that even though that these are skill sets, if they don't have the right mindset, okay, and we'll talk about mindset, and you'll agree with me in a minute more, but they don't have the right mindset. If I'm going on a tightrope and I'm going to go on it, I have a skill. Like I've been doing this for years. I know what the heck I'm doing. But me and my spouse got into a really bad argument, and he said to me, you know what? I hope you fall. That would be horrible. But I know that's a horrible example, but whatever. But in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, what if I do fall? Oh my God, what a jerk. He put this in my mind. What if it rains? What if this happens? Like all I'm saying is we still in these jobs or these careers, an Olympic athlete, a musician, accountants, we all still have to, number one, get clients or get customers or have people watching us, right? So we have to have a very, 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 very strong mindset. So let's talk a little bit more about mindset. And know that, yes, going to school and getting trades are definitely important in our world today. As a matter of fact, Bill was talking about the orphanage that we own we built. I guess we do own it, but we built it in Guatemala. Our nonprofit's called Work, Play, Love. And we're helping build a school. We actually have a school at the Girls Orphanage right now in the interim of us helping build another school by another nonprofit. And we're also going to be assisting another nonprofit who's doing a trade school. So you might be thinking, well, Kim, these are all skills. Yeah, they're skills, but guess what? In trade school, you better believe it that there's going to be a course on life. There's a course on finances. And I don't just mean like how to be an accountant. It's how to live life with money, how to live life on a budget, how to save money, how to invest money, how to be a good person, how to have good manners. Like all these things may not be trades in other people's minds, but that's definitely a life skill, right? We need to have these life skills. So I'm going to actually put on a video right now just to explain a little bit about having a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. I found a new video that I had out there for those of you who were with us last time, but I'm going to put it on because I think it gives a really good example, and it's kind of just fun and interesting to watch at the same time and give you a little break from me. And I want you to really just start to think about, what do I have? Do I have a fixed mindset, or do I have a growth mindset, or am I somewhere in between, and do I need to have a little bit better of a growth mindset? And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what that looks like for you, how to implement that, how to make that better. You guys can definitely offer, any questions that you might have for myself as well. But let me go and share. If you could help me share, Bill.
Should just have a share button at the bottom there. You don't have a share option.
It just says host disabled attendees. So
let's see here.
Okay. Just give me the thumbs up. And I'll
see if that does you.
Yeah, I think that's good now. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Where am I going here? Here we go. Okay, let's just make sure this is good. And Okay. We should be good. Let me know, Bill, by a thumbs up that we're good on sound.
Did you know there's a powerful relationship between what we believe about how we learn and our actual achievement? Dr. Carol Dweck studies students' beliefs about intelligence. What she found is that students generally hold one of two very different beliefs about intelligence. Some students have what she calls a fixed mindset. This is the belief that intelligence is a fixed trait that doesn't change much. So like eye color, these students believe you're born with a certain amount of intelligence and there's not much you can do to change it. Other students have a very different belief about intelligence. They have a growth mindset. They see intelligence more like a muscle. They understand that when you put in effort, you can get smarter. What we now know from study after study is that the more students have a growth mindset and believe that they can grow their intelligence, the better they do in school. Students with a growth mindset do better in school because they approach learning differently than students with a fixed mindset. For students with a fixed mindset, their goal in school is to show how smart they are or hide how dumb they think they are. This makes sense, right? If you think you're just born smart or dumb, you want to make sure you show that you are smart. So this makes fixed mindsetters much less likely to ask questions in class or seek out help from peers or teachers, because that would involve showing that they don't know something. Students with a growth mindset, on the other hand, have the goal to learn. So they're more likely to ask a question if they don't understand, or to seek out help, or try a new strategy if they're struggling. When it comes to the amount of effort you have to put forth, students with a fixed mindset and students with a growth mindset see that differently as well. Those with a fixed mindset actually see effort as proof of low ability. They think that if you have to try hard, that means you aren't very smart. Whereas students with a growth mindset see effort as the way that you get smarter. How students react when they are faced with a challenge or setback in their learning is what really differentiates those with a fixed mindset and those with a growth mindset. Students with a fixed mindset will think that they are not smart and will likely give up on a task. Those with a growth mindset tend to work harder because they see it as an opportunity to learn and grow their intelligence. So if we can all grow our intelligence, are we saying that all students have equal ability? We aren't saying that everyone has the same level of intelligence. Having a growth mindset doesn't mean that you believe everyone has equal ability in every subject matter. It also doesn't mean that we believe some students aren't more talented in certain subjects than others. It means that you believe that no matter where a person is now, they can always improve with effort, good strategies, and help. And that's the number one piece of information you should take away from this lesson. No matter where a person is now, they can always improve with effort, good strategies, and help.
Okay, let me just stop sharing. Where is that? Hold on. Okay, here we go. Cool. So just a simple video, really nothing like massive over here, but I think it's a good illustration. First of all, how many people with hands up, you can just do it right here, hands up on there. How many people have definitely had a fixed mindset or sometimes still do? Right? Okay, you gotta be honest, because you gotta be honest where you are so you can improve. You think you're perfect? Well, first of all, there's no perfection, right? But we all have to improve. Yeah, except for you, Bill. But but so if we all have to work on it, I think we can agree that we can work on it. However, how many people also can agree that having a fixed mindset could have maybe just come from some of the people that we've listened to and we didn't know any different? Now that we've experienced a couple things, we say, whoa, interesting. Well, I thought I believed that until I hung around this person or went to this or did this, and now I believe differently because I experienced something different. And that's the whole great thing about having a mentor, having a coach. being uncomfortable and doing something that, you know, like moving to Mexico. I'm not encouraging anybody to move to Mexico, but doing something uncomfortable, you know, can help. So I know tomorrow, I believe tomorrow, if I'm correct, that Mike Melia, my business partner, is going to go over goals with you, which is awesome. So I'm not going to get into goals because goals and mindset are really, they go hand in hand. So I'm so happy that, you know, Bill was doing the goals for tomorrow. But what I did learn, and what I did learn actually from my business partner, Mike, yesterday, and he learned this from, I don't even know who, to tell you the truth. I guess I could go on Google and ask, but who knows? We always like to say we can rob and duplicate as long as you're robbing or stealing from the right cat. So I like to rob and duplicate things that really affected me or worked in my life. So this is just about having a good mindset. We're going to talk about how to expand that mindset. How do you get a better mindset, growth mindset versus the fixed mindset? How can you change that? Because sometimes people are just, I mean, they're just like this. And the whole thing about getting more into the growth is to, first of all, to analyze and to be aware of it, and then to want to change it. There's a whole bunch of things that go into it, but the good news is you can change it like that if you want to have a growth mindset. But the first thing that I learned, and I didn't learn these in school, and I hope that they are starting to teach us in school, but I know they haven't as of when I graduated, or that I know of anything, is that we have to have good philosophies, right? A good philosophy is going to then, there's 5 different things. So a good philosophy is going to determine my attitude. So what's a philosophy? You know, a philosophy is, you hear a whole bunch of people who have great quotes and all sorts of things. A philosophy is, you know, if it's to be, it's up to me. That's a good philosophy, right? That doesn't mean that I don't have teams and I, you know, don't work as a team player and all that kind of stuff. But if it's ultimately up to me, then, you know, if it's it's going to be up to me to make anything happen. So that's a philosophy. Do more today that you get paid for, and soon tomorrow you'll get paid for more than what you do today. That's a philosophy by Jim Rohn. I bought into that philosophy. First of all, I did not live that philosophy, you guys. I was the person that worked at the bank, or you put me in any corporate position, whatever. Put me at the chiropractor's office, I worked there, put whatever. I was the type of person that wanted to, if there was a birthday party, it was Bill Guyther's birthday, I would, and you know, you decorated the office, or you baked a cake, or you did whatever. I would be the girl that would do anything and everything to go get the balloons, to decorate the office, to bake the cake, even though I hate baking, to do anything and everything to not have to do my corporate job. I mean, that's just the way I was. As soon as I would get into my job, I'd be in it for a month or 2, and then I'd hated it because it just wasn't helping my mind. I already learned the skill set because they trained me for like a month or a week or whatever that position was. So I got the skill set. Once I started getting the better skill set, then I started to not be able to use my mind. Because my mind, not that I didn't use my mind, but I wasn't expanding it. I wasn't exploring it. I wasn't being adventurous. I was stuck in a stupid job I hated, right? So I would just, give me something else to do. That's not a really good philosophy, because I would never ever do more at my job than I got paid for. I would do less at my job than I got paid for. That was a wrong philosophy. That's why I wasn't leaving it. And some of you were doing the same thing with your spouse. Well, if they love me more, then I'll love them. Well, that's a little crappy. Well, if they communicate, then I'll communicate. No. Always, you know, take the high road. I know it's not easy. It's another philosophy I have. I don't know if that's one of my philosophies, is always take the high road. That doesn't mean be defeated. That doesn't mean being beaten down. That doesn't mean don't be confident or anything like that. It just means take the high road. It's not worth it. Life is short. You know, life is really short. Okay, so philosophies have some good ones, because I never had any philosophies, didn't even know how to spell philosophy when I got out of high school, just so you know. I do now, because I read. But philosophies determine your attitude, your action. Your attitude determines your actions. People think, I'm just going to go into activity right away, and you wonder why you're not doing so well. It's because you don't have the right philosophy, the outlook. You're missing the growth mindset. The growth mindset is going to get that attitude that you want. You can't just go out and have a good attitude if you don't have a good mind, if you don't have good philosophies. And listen, if you don't have good philosophies right now, then listen, here's my whiteboard. See this whiteboard right here? I want you to write all your new philosophies down on a whiteboard. There's a homework right now. Okay, I'm going to give you that homework. I didn't have that as an assignment. That's an assignment. I want you to write down 5 different philosophies. Go and listen to philosophers. I like Jim Rohn. There's a lot of them out there. Go listen to whoever, Tony Robbins, you name it, you can listen to whoever, and get 5 philosophies that you want to adapt into your life that you haven't already, or that you need to implement a little bit more. and put them on your whiteboard. That means you got to get a whiteboard down too. And then it's going to determine your action. Your actions will determine your results, and then your result will determine your lifestyle. Okay? Some people getting that all mixed up. So philosophy, attitude, actions, result, lifestyle. Once I had that on my whiteboard too, I saw it. I always knew that what I had to do every day was become a better person, and that's reading 15 minutes or reading 5 pages or 10 pages of a good book, listening to 15 to 20 minutes of a good audio, going to webinars, going to seminars, being on stuff like this, being part of Facebook group that is absolutely positive and that you want to make a difference. Okay. So that's a set of 5 that I just live by. You know, there's also a philosophy that I live by, which is called the slight edge philosophy. And and I'm not going to get into all tonight because there's a lot to go through, but really the slight edge philosophy is a philosophy I was taught with these that I just went through with 5 that is stuck in my head because it's simple. I'm a pretty simple girl. That doesn't mean I don't like lots of great things, but I like to simplify things. That's how I understand them. And so the slight edge philosophy basically says this. You do the mundane things over and over, the simple little things that seem to make no difference. Drinking a glass of water the first thing when I wake up in the morning, meditating, doing my exercise 5 days a week minimum, eating healthy, doing these things every day, simple little disciplines every day, not working out 2 hours a day, working out 5 days a week, an hour. You know what I mean? Not eating healthy every single day, having the weekend off. You know, eating whatever I want then. I'm talking about, but the little simple things over and over and over that will lead to your success, yay, or your failure, boo. So if I reverse that and on the weekends I only ate healthy and the other 5 days I went to McDonald's and ate every bad thing that I could possibly eat, right? Then probably I'm not going to lead myself to success. I'm probably going to have some health issues. If I only exercise on the weekend and I didn't exercise for the 5 days, do you hear what I'm saying? So I live a life of really in moderation, but I definitely live a life of the slight edge philosophy. Kim, is this leading you in a very good direction or it's not leading you in the best direction at all? And I base my decision off of that. Are these people I'm hanging out with helping me improve my life, improve and expanding my horizons and my dreams and my goals? Or are these people sucking and I'm probably going to fall flat on my face like they have, right? There's a lot that goes in there. But guys, when I learned this philosophy, it was everything, because you're either on the slight edge you're either on the slight edge in the wrong way or the right way right now. And for all different areas, from your health to your wealth, to your career, to your spirituality, and to your relationships, to your travel. All these things are in the slight edge going the right way, the wrong way. So you get to choose. The good news is we're talking about a life by design right now. And this is what you can do. You get to choose what you ultimately want. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense to you guys. To sharpen your mindset, what are some of the things that we can do? We're going to talk about affirmations. I'm going to read through some affirmations. I've already given them to Bill, and he can then send them out to you. So you can have some new affirmations or improve your affirmations. You know, goals and affirmations and all that kind of stuff is something that, and you guys were talking about the why before, those are all things that can be enhanced, changed over time, because things are different, right? Like somebody might have cancer in your family, so all of a sudden your health matters more to you, or wealth matters more to you because now you need some money to go help and support that. Like everybody's at a different time in their life, and so different affirmations and different goals and stuff like that. So it's always a plan to review that we're doing. So what else can we do to develop a growth mindset? I talked about it, attending seminars, webinars, podcasts, YouTube, right? I mean, it's all free. You don't have to have the money. You don't have to go to Tony Robbins and spend $5,000, $10,000, $100 or whatever. You can go and watch stuff online. Even on Netflix, he's got a great one. There's a lot out there. Getting a mentor or coach, you're having that right now. You know, it's amazing. And you're just being part of it. Okay. You guys are funny. I'm looking at some of your comments now. So that's cool. I like it. Let's talk about, I'm just going to talk about a few things. If you want to buy somebody's lifestyle, right, then, or you want to, let me just put it this way. So you like somebody's lifestyle, then you're going to buy their opinion. So if you want to buy somebody's opinion, like if somebody's telling you, no, this isn't a good idea, yes, this is a good idea, whatever they're telling you, then make sure that you like their lifestyle, because you want to find a mentor or coach that you can respect. So if you're looking at somebody's lifestyle, now, not every mentor or coach of mine, I like every area of their life, But I find coaches in fitness. I find coaches that are in finances. I find coaches that are in nutrition. And that's who I follow in my different areas of life. And I suggest you do the same thing. But if I don't like their lifestyle, how they live, like if I don't like how the woman looks as a coach and she's training at the gym, well, I'm not going to go train with her. Why would I go train with somebody who I don't like the way they look? Doesn't make any sense to me. Why would I want to go and follow somebody that I don't even like their lifestyle, where they live, how they're with their family? So please, it helped me. This is the philosophy. If you're going to buy somebody's opinions, then you better buy their lifestyle, and you better want that that's what they want. And I'm being pretty heavy on that, but there's too many people that buy people's opinions, and it's ruining your lifestyle, because you don't even have an opinion on your own. Anyways, I can go into that, but that's I think my point taken. And be okay to fail. Failure. I mean, listen, I've watched Bill fail. He's watched me fail. We've watched each other fail. And guess what? We applauded. We said, and we consoled each other. We've had compassion, but ultimately we've said, get back up, dude. Let's go. Let's run. Let's do this. We can, it's okay. We learn and we grow through things. If you have a problem, like you've got a problem, this is called the ant philosophy. Here's a philosophy. An ant philosophy. When an ant wants to get through or around or whatever, what does an ant do to this rock? An ant is going to go up, over, around. It's going to figure out the way to get around it, right? And you ultimately want to be able to go, for your problems or things like that, you can't just go around things forever. You do want to go through them. Now, I know an ant can't get through here, but they're going to find their way. And you need to know, for your problems, you have to go through them. You can't just go the opposite way and say, you know what, I'm never going to deal with that. And I'm talking about deep issues that you might have in your head about your past and stuff like that. That's what I'm really talking about. You've got to go through them. You got to attack them and go through them, because you're only going to become stronger on the other side. I know it's a cliche, but it's true. So go through your problems into the solution. Don't go around and over top, because they're all going to come back to you and bite you. So let's see, join some networking groups. If you want to be happy or have more money or do whatever this, you just joined this networking group on Facebook, right? So of course you want to make sure that you are paying attention and you're bringing that abundance and that happiness into your life and that mindset. So a couple things I'm just going to talk about, and then I'm going to ask you guys if you have any questions, but here's some mindset affirmations. I have my own affirmations that I do daily, but I found some really great ones that I'm just going to adapt into my own affirmations. So part of your homework is to get the whiteboard and to write down some 5 philosophies. And then I want you to write down 10 affirmations, new affirmations that you're not using currently. And I want you to use them for the next 30 days. So you can say them 10 times out loud to yourself. You can say them in the morning, at night. You can say them silently. You can have them posted up on your whiteboard. You can have them posted on your phone. You can do whatever, but just consciously be looking at them. So here's some of them. So 10, you have to write down 10 and read them for the next 30 days. So mindset affirmations: my body is healthy. My mind is brilliant. My soul is tranquil. I don't know about you, but I like that one. Of course, these ones are going to be taken. Bill's already put them there, so you guys don't even have to write them down. Just listen. I believe I can do anything. I believe I can do anything. By the way, though, just so you know, when you do write down stuff, you remember it more and it goes into your head. So afterwards, write it down, put it in your own. Like, I could have just copied it, but I actually wrote them all down. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. Okay, 3, everything is happening now is happening for my ultimate goal, right? Different way of looking at things, especially if you're going through a challenge. 4, I'm an architect of my life. I build its foundation and I choose its contents. 5, this is a really, really big one. Really big one. I forgive those who have harmed me in my past and I peacefully detach from them. That's a good one. Let me say that again. I forgive. Yes, forgive. I forgive those who have harmed me in my past and peacefully detach from them. Peacefully. 6, my ability to conquer my challenges is limitless. My potential to succeed is infinite. Can you see how I'm excited about reading it too, and just how I changed, like how my attitude changed? It's amazing. So I suggest you read them. And why not read them to your family or read them to a friend or whatever. And also, I'm going to read these next 3, but I am I'm also accountable to people for my goals, affirmations, personal development every single day, and my meditation. So accountability is very key, and I know they'll be talking about that. 7, today, I abandon my old habits and take new positive ones. I abandon my old habits and take on new positive ones. Folks, you can't, I'm not going to go through this today, but you cannot just take away smoking and not replace it if you're going to quit smoking. You've got to replace it with something. Maybe it is chewing gum. Maybe it's, I don't know, a pen and chewing on the end of it. You know what I mean? All I'm saying, like, if you want to create a new habit, so you want to get up and work out, then you know, because you've been sleeping in, then what you do is you set your alarm and you work out first thing in the morning. You know, you've got to create a new habit to get rid of that old one, because it's going to be really, really difficult. So I'll just say that. Number 8, I can achieve greatness. 9, today I am full of energy and overflowing with joy and love. I added the and love, by the way, on this one. So just so you know, number 9, I added and love. And number 10, I love and accept myself for who I am. How many people really love and accept themselves for who I am? You don't have to put up your hands. Yes, good. Give yourself a hug. But the truth is we got to love ourselves with where we are right now. Like, we got to be grateful for having our arms, having our eyes, we're able to listen, having our legs, whatever, having stuff. Trust me, we just got a friend that got into a very bad car accident on a motorcycle, and he's lucky to have his leg. Okay, one of his legs could have been amputated. And rather than being grateful for my leg that almost got amputated, how about being grateful for my legs today? And the same thing for our health. We all know this, right? So the other thing I do to help me to have a growth mindset, and many CEOs, many people who are very wealthy, not that that is the only thing that matters in life, but isn't it interesting that they meditate? And meditate is not a weird thing or a religious thing or anything like that, okay? I don't want people to think you can do prayer. That's awesome, you know, while you're meditating. But meditation is just quieting your mind and going within, period, end of story. That's it. I know you might think, well, I got lots of chatter, I got this. Just do yourself a favor, grab an app. There's Calm, there's a whole bunch of different apps that are free. Of course, if you want their premium, you can pay for it, but I haven't yet. And I just go through guided meditations. You know, take 5 minutes every day and just do a meditation. Why? Because you need to quiet that monkey mind of yours. It's always going to be there. And if we're going to work on our mindset, our growth mindset, then we have to know that there's a monkey mind in there, that we got to stop at chatter, and we have to focus on the growth. And meditation just helps you quiet your mind and makes you appreciate the simple little things. So it's something very, very powerful. So that's pretty much my notes for tonight. Of course, I could talk for a longer period of time, but I want to just ask if there's any questions, first of all, from you guys, if there's anything I can help you with. Let you know that having a growth mindset has led me to have an amazing lifestyle, but it was chosen by design. And I'm blessed. It wasn't easy, but it was simple. It was simple. I followed the daily disciplines. I followed the things in life that my mentors told me to, and they led me to, and I've been able to have a great lifestyle, you know, living here, having an orphanage, being able to help my mom financially, be here for spiritually while she's having some challenges. We just had my boyfriend's father here, where we had to spend a lot of money on getting him stem cell. He has prostate cancer. He's okay. It's slowly, but we put him stem cell. We got teeth work done because we know that that's a health issue. We put him in a holistic center. And, you know, those are just the blessings that are the side benefits of having a home-based business, where you know that you have not a job, but an opportunity to be able to have this amazing lifestyle. But it really only took me, honestly, 9 months of working with this amazing company to become full-time. And it only took me about 3 years to become what I would call semi-retired. And when I say semi-retired, it means I'm not working 40 to 60 hours a week. I'm not working for somebody else. I'm working on investing in residual income and all sorts of different things. And I think I've been to, 30 trips with my company. You know, they're all free trips, which has been amazing to explore. I'm going to Malta, which is really exciting in just a couple weeks, and just going back to Guatemala. So lifestyle is great, but if I didn't have those philosophies and that attitude and those actions and those results and the lifestyle, plus having the mentors and an amazing company, none of this would have happened. So it's possible for you. I just want you to know that anything and everything is possible if you want it and if you have the right mindset and if you're willing to explore that. So let me take any questions, Bill, if there's anybody who has anything.
All right, fantastic, great information. And I know you did this last month for us, and I've heard of mindset versus skill set many times, but it wasn't until last month that you introduced me and I first heard the growth mindset versus, the non-growth or whatever it is, the closed mindset. I never really put that together, so I appreciate that, and I hope you guys do too. So anybody have any questions or comments for Kim? All you have to do is unmute yourself and start talking. That's fine.
Hey, Bill, Lou Alleman.
Go ahead, Lou.
All right. Kim, thank you so much. It's amazing. That was very deep. What I like about the philosophy you mentioned, the growth, the mindset, the skills and everything, it's all affiliated as it relates to the personal development, like the laws of association. And that is powerful. I had one of the associates today that every time I see a Jim Rohn a video or Nightingale and all these guys, I forward it to the team if I think it's nice and deep and just for them to think. And one guy approached me today and says, man, you and your philosophical mindset. I said, what are you trying to do? I said, no, I'm just trying to get your mindset focused on the positive about your life with growth. And ironically enough, we were blessed with Kim's knowledge and growth. So I love this. So back to you, Bill.
Fantastic. And just so you know, we're going to talk about those two things. Kim already said tomorrow we're going to be having setting and achieving goals with Kim Melia. But then on Wednesday, we got personal development training from Chip Humphrey. And on Wednesday, rather than on Thursday, I'm going to come back and we're going to be talking about your law of association. So all these things, guys, there's a flow to what we're doing here. So we appreciate that, Lou. Who else? Anybody else for comments or questions for Kim?
I got a quick question here. So in your experience, Kim, because I know you work with a lot of people as well. I know there's only so far that you can help someone before they need to say, like, I'm on board with actually helping myself. But when it comes to like mindset and stuff, in what ways have you experienced as helpful for helping somebody else get the right mindset? Because we talked a lot about helping myself get the right mindset, but how about helping somebody else? Is that even possible?
Third party, we just went through that, not to get too personal, but we went through that with somebody, a good person in our family that doesn't have a mindset of health. And all that they needed at this time, you have to third party it, do as much as you can. Again, always rise above it. And whether it's sending them a book, Bill's book is great, getting people to open up their minds. So I would just say third party is the best. And so third party means a book, an audio, nothing, not you. Zip your mouth, because usually you're too close to the person or they know your past, so they don't like, how do you know this? So the best thing to always do is to introduce somebody else, something else to them, so they don't, or lead by example. Because I found that at least, because there's a lot of things that you're talking about here, but leading by example also can hopefully show people rather than tell people about your mindset. So, for instance, like people can tell that my mindset's different that I haven't seen in many years. They comment on it. I wanted to bring them along with me, especially if you're starting in a business where you want business partners and stuff like that. I wanted to bring people with me. I think that's common. And you find something exciting and you want them to come with you, but sometimes you want it more for them than they want for themselves. And you're just like, oh, but if they only saw it my way, guess what? They don't see it your way because they're not in your mind. They're not there. They haven't seen what you've seen, heard what you've heard, been around the people and read what you've read. And that's a Frank Acoinism, which is a great mentor of mine. South Carolina Businessman of the Year, just a really great guy. So it's impossible to inspire somebody, but we can motivate them to hopefully see something, hear something, or be around a different crowd.
I thought that was a great question and great answer too. All right, anybody else with any comments or questions for Kim? Going once, going twice. Okay, Kim, you want to give us some closing comments and reiterate the homework for tonight?
Sure, let's do it. And I'm going to encourage you guys to speak up. This is a really intimate course for you. So with the other speakers that you have coming up, Bill's always hosting it. He's an open, vulnerable, compassionate man. So, this is a safe zone. This is a safe zone. We're not here to make fun, to judge or anything. It's a complete safe zone. And so even if maybe you just felt uncomfortable, you can always add it in the chat, or you can ask Bill later or whatever. You have access to the speakers. So always be okay and know that this is a safe zone to grow. That's what this whole Better Life View is all about. So your homework. Okay, so I got another one. I know you're like, wow. But Bill's like, please give us the homework. So the number one thing is, hopefully you do have a whiteboard. If you don't, you can just write it somewhere. But you want to write your 5 philosophies down. Then I want you to write 10 affirmations, new affirmations. It could be the ones that I just gave you. You could just use those. But 10 affirmations that you read for 30 days straight. And then the last thing is, I want you to meditate every day for 5 minutes. 5 minutes for 7 days, and then you guys can do whatever you want. Again, there's meditation apps out there. You can put on a prayer and just listen to that over and over. Like, there's so many. You can do a walking meditation. Now, I really just want you to quiet your mind, so I'd rather you not do that one right now. Just sit, and preferably first thing in the morning. It's called RPM, raise, pee, meditate. Yes, that means the first thing that most of us need to do is go pee. So go pee, because you don't want to be meditating going, I gotta go pee. Kim told me to meditate. So it's RPM. Just remember that. Raise, pee, meditate.
We'll never forget it. We'll never forget it.
Okay, good. But that's it. That's your assignment. They're really not that big of a deal, because these are just things that are only going to enhance your next great coaches that you have. So Bill, thank you. Thanks for everybody calling in tonight. And of course, for those of you who've heard me before, thanks for dialing in and hearing me again, maybe about the same subject. But God bless everybody. Let's have a better life view. Back to you.
All right. Fantastic. Okay, guys. So give it up for Kim Melia. I'll unmute everybody as we're closing out, so you can say goodbye and thank you and all that stuff. But I want to put in the chat here. Here in the chat is the link to register for tomorrow's Better Life View course, which again is setting and achieving goals with Mr. Mike Melia. Kim, you want to say anything about your business partner and what you know he's going to bring to the table tomorrow?
Yeah, I was just putting raise, pee, meditate in here. Hold on, raise, pee, meditate, so people don't. Yeah, okay, good. Well, first of all, he's my business partner, so of course he has to be cool, because, you know, if I'm pretty cool, he's got to be somewhat cool. No, but he really taught me. He taught me a lot. A lot of what I'm talking about. The funny thing is I just have to go back into my mental notes and think about what Mike has taught me. He has been a personal development coach, speaker, trainer for umpteen years, pretty much as long as I've been born, and he is 18 years older than me, so almost as long as I've been born. But he's just going to give you some great things. He's really, really, really good at just dissecting goals and teaching you how to goal set in a very simplistic way. And again, that's what I like, a simplistic way, so we do it. So you'll have a lot of fun with him. He's a great guy. He's fun, but he's very knowledgeable, and you should definitely be blessed to have him on. So make sure that you have your pen on turbo for tomorrow and have some goals already set and ready, and then he'll be able to help you dissect them even better. So Bill, back to you.
All right, fantastic. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern. I already put the link. Everybody got the link. You saw it come in there, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, open your chat. It's in the chat. Okay. See you shaking your head no. See it now? Okay, at the bottom, touch your screen, Tricia, and then click on the chat. Okay, if somebody doesn't have it or something, you can email me or message me on Facebook or whatever, but it's in the chat. You should be able to just click it and go get registered. I'm going to unmute all you guys, and we're going to get wrapped up if you want to say thank you to Kim on our way out. So that's a wrap tonight, guys. Kim Melia, thank you very much. Guys, have a great night.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.